There is an irony that some of the most beautiful things that the continent has produced can only be seen in European museums. Most of them are a result of colonial plunder. Now, London's Victoria and Albert Museum is trying to address that and is offering on loan some of Ethiopia's looted treasures. The suggested loaning has set off heated debate. The artifacts have just gone on display in London. Lisa Marie Midstock reports.
Beautifully written manuscripts, a meticulously crafted golden crown, silver jewellery. These are some of the items that were plundered in Ethiopia during the Battle of Magdala in April 1868.
Hi, I'm Femi OK. Today, why are looted Ethiopian treasures from the 19th century still in the UK?
I'm Malika Bilal. A new exhibition in London showcases plundered artifacts from the Abyssinian Empire, casting a spotlight once again on the debate over whether the spoils of war should be returned to their home countries.
So right now, you are in the stream. We're live on Al Jazeera and YouTube. So leave your comments in the chat box, and Malika and I relics, some of which are currently on display at London's Victoria and Albert Museum, were stolen in 1868 after the Battle of Magdala. That's when British troops raided the fortress of Abyssinian Emperor Tewodros II to release a group of imprisoned missionaries. Ethiopia has previously requested that several British institutions give back hundreds of manuscripts and artifacts, and that the remains of the emperor's young son, Prince Ali.
The British Museum is in talks to secure the return of artifacts stolen by its troops during an invasion in 1868 known as the Battle of Magdala. A long-term loan is one of the options on the table, but Ethiopia wants Britain to return, not loan, stolen treasures. The country has made various requests for the return of these artifacts, which include hundreds of illuminated manuscripts and gold crowns.
Ethiopia wants ancient artifacts plundered by British troops to be returned as part of a wider campaign to repatriate important articles of the...
Now, London's V&A Museum has put Ethiopian treasures plundered by British forces on display, and it's in talks with the African country to give them back. But a loan is the most likely option, which may not be enough for campaigners. Lucy Fielder has more.
These treasures plundered by British troops could soon be returned to Ethiopia. London's Victoria and Albert Museum has put them on display to mark the 150th anniversary of the Battle of Magdala, when British expeditionary troops ransacked the emperor's fortress. It took 200 mules and 15 camels to carry their loot of sacred manuscripts and royal gold. Emperor Tewodros II killed himself. Now the V&A, one of several museums that holds Magdala artifacts, is in talks with Ethiopia about their future.
Ethiopia wants historical artefacts back that are currently on display in London. 150 years ago, British colonists stole treasure, including a gold crown and a royal wedding dress from Addis Ababa.
Ethiopia is calling for the return of artifacts seized by British forces in the East African nation 150 years ago. The treasures are currently on display at the UK's Victoria and Albert Museum. Ethiopia first officially requested that the objects be returned in 2007. The V&A says it's ready to give the artifacts on a long-term loan basis, but Addis Ababa has rejected that offer, saying it wants them all back permanently.
These crosses are part of a bigger collection of items in a number of British institutions. They were taken away after the capture of Magdala in then Abyssinia in 1868. At the time, the city was the mountain capital of Emperor Tewodros II, and is possibly the reason the artifacts are so important. A local legend has it that 15 elephants and 200 mules were needed to transport all the plundered artifacts. Ethiopia had launched a formal restitution claim back in 2007 for the items. That request, though, was refused. But the issue came up again in
Ethiopia urges British Museum to permanently return its artifacts. Britain must permanently return all artifacts from Ethiopia held by the Victoria